follower of Christ, I know that this is how God has made us. And if we want to be happy and joyous and to have a passionate and wonderful marriage, this is the path. All right, so now, gentlemen, we're going to push this a little bit further for you. You ready? Because it says you're to love your spouse. Now, I put love up here. Now I'm going to grab it's right here. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, because agape love is actually defined for us. It's not just this thing that's out there. Oh yeah, it's a godly love. Okay, no. God put the exact details down for us. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 4 through 7. Here's what he says. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. Love does not dishonor. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. All right. Hang on just one second. Now we're going to take the details of what that actually means. I want to break that down because, gentlemen, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. It's so easy because you and I, we've all preached this passage. We've not only preached this passage, we've read it I don't know how many times. Okay, and every time we do a marriage, we stand up there, marriage couple is down there and they're standing up there and you're holding the Bible. And they're holding hands, and you're doing the vows, and you read that love is patient, love is kind, love hopes all things. And you just read it through, and pretty soon that passage just goes right up over the top of your head. And they're not listening because they're thinking about their future marriage. They're holding hands, they're hoping they can get out of the crowd and go on their honeymoon. And you're not really listening to what the words you got to say because you've already read that passage 25 times. Now I want you to stop. And I actually want you to go through that passage, and I want you to change the words. And instead, so I would read it. So the first one is, love is patient. Okay? Now, if I really want to read that honestly, I would read it, Vance, my wife's name is Julie, Vance is patient with Julie. And then I'd stop. I'd say, is that true? Uh-oh. Now it's getting personal, okay? Because patient is not one of my strong suits. My wife will tell you this. It's just not. But I've had to learn. I've had to learn. And so, gentlemen, and you'll see, because I gave you a chart at the very end of this thing, and you're going to be using that chart later on. But I want to go through this just for a minute because I want you to be honest. Because the worst thing in the world, okay, we'd love to avoid this, but I want you to be honest with yourself, honest with God, and honest with your wife. So, patient. Patient. You do not, it means that you do not lose heart and that you bear or you put up with offenses and you could, in other words, when you're offended, you're patient. Wow. Okay, that's the first one. So, gentlemen, are you patient with your wife? Next thing, love is kind. Are you kind with your wife? And the meaning is a mildness. Now gentlemen, if you were raised like I was raised by a Marine Corps father, and we learned to hit and to bounce and we would wrestle until we were black and blue. That's how men are. This is what we do. But guess what? Not with your wife. Okay, and we learn to talk harshly. We learn no. Your words are to be kind. They're to be soft. They're to be gentle. They're to be, okay? Do you understand? So, are you kind to your wife? Third thing, love does not envy. Okay, and what's envy about? Envy is all about wanting something for me, it's about being jealous of what the other person does or is. And you know what? In love, there is no place for jealousy. You always want what is best for your wife. Next, it says love does not boast. Okay, gentlemen, all of us who are pastors are also leaders. We just are. And we like the attention of being up front. That's one of the reasons why we do what we do. But God has called you to be up front with humility. God has called you, and that's exactly why He's taken this whole boasting thing and He's put it in the, because love is not about putting yourself on display. Love is about raising up the other person and putting her on display. Love is about honoring what she does right. Love is about taking her abilities and talents and putting those and bragging about those things in front of other people. That's what boasting. That's why God says love does not boast. And the next word ties in right directly with it. Love is not proud. Okay, you know what? This is one of the most frightening things in Scripture, because you realize that of all the sins in Scripture, God says, 1 Peter, that for the person who's proud, he hates pride so much that he literally, the phrase means he literally goes to war with all of his holy might against pride. So all I'm saying is, as leaders, we have a tendency, trial version, like we said, we have a tendency to like the limelight. And there's some pride, you know, we get done with a good message and, you know, we want people, we love it when people come up, Pastor, oh, that was so good. Oh, what a great message, Pastor. You did a great job. And then we go home and we want our wives, oh, honey, you were the best today. You were fantastic. And then if our kids say, Daddy, that was a really good message, then we really think we're something. And God comes along and says, you don't understand. Same thing with boasting. Pride is all about you. I want you to make it all about her. That's what love is about. Okay, next thing. Love does not dishonor. Okay, let's see. I'll just put dishonor here. Love does not dishonor. Okay, again, love is all about what you do for the good of others. Dishonor breaks people down. Honor raises them up. I'm not going to write the rest of these down. I'm just going to go through them. Love is not self-seeking. Are you starting to see a pattern here? Boasting is about you. Envy is about you. Pride is about you. Dishonor is about putting somebody down so you can raise you up. Self-seeking is about you. And you understand, this is why God's agape love turns the world on its head. Because agape love makes everything, including your marriage relationship, about the other person. It puts you behind, it puts them forward and honors them. That's why it says, and that's why God hits it so hard. Look at the next phrase. Is not easily angered. Why do we get angry? We get angry because we didn't get our way. I didn't get what I wanted, so I get mad. Or you offended me, or you made me feel bad, so I'm angry. That's what anger is about. Again, it's all about me. And God comes along. And gentlemen, I'll tell you, this whole anger thing, okay, just being real honest, this is something that I fought with for years because I got easily angry. And it caused a lot of damage. And men, if you're a guy that gets easily angered, you need to get before the throne of God and realize that your anger does nothing but destroy you and destroy your wife and destroy your family. There is nothing worse for children than an angry father. An angry father, it crushes their spirit. Don't be that man. Learn what it is to love and to pour yourself out for others. All right, next. It keeps no record of wrongs. Again, there's a whole self-seeking thing. Why do we keep record of wrongs? We keep record of wrongs because we want to hold it over somebody's head. Oh, Nan, can you remember? You remember when you did? Remember when you... No, you're not supposed to remember. You're supposed to just let it slide right off your back. That's what love does. Okay, the next thing, does not delight in evil but rejoices in the truth. That's just what it means. It always protects. Gentlemen, always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. It always perseveres. Gentlemen, how do you stack up? Seriously, how are you? If I were to sit down with you one-on-one and you and I were to get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee together and I were to read through that list, how do you stack up on God's list of what it means to love your wife? So, now you're really going to love this. No, you're not, probably. But here's what I want you to do, because here are the next steps. You see the chart that I gave you? It's page 25. I don't know what page it is in your outline, but it's 2 pages next. And I want you to take that chart, gentlemen, and it has 2 columns in it. And the 2 columns, one is for you to mark in, and one is for your wife to mark in. All right? And here's what I want you to do. And yes, gentlemen, all of this is about you to start with. Don't worry. Tomorrow we're gonna deal with the ladies. But I want you to go, and first of all, I want you to sit with the Lord. You may take 10 minutes, you may take an hour. I don't care. I want you to sit with the Lord. And then I want you to go through this list, and I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. So, patient. How you doing? Rate yourself. Is that a 1, a 2, a 5? A 10 means you're doing really, really good. Okay? Then, what I want you to do is I want you to fold that, or I want you to hide that section. And after you've sat with the Lord and you've listened and you figure out how good you're doing, I want you to go to your wife and I want you to hand it to her and I want you to say, sweetheart, notice the word I used, sweetheart, would you please write down how you think I'm doing with these descriptions of love? Oh, guys, I know this is taking a risk. I know it. And you're going to be hurt. And some of you are going to be angry because you thought you were doing great on patience and your wife is going to look at you and go, yeah, no, not so good, honey. Or you thought you were doing good on kindness. Yeah, I'm not. Okay. Not, you don't say a word. You don't try to defend yourself. Not at all. You're going to take that list and then you're going to go back and you're going to see what she graded you as, and you're going to go back and you're going to take it before the Lord and you're going to say, Lord, oh dear God, help me be the man that you have called me to be. I want to change.